Hi, my name is Mark Shapiro. I'm the Executive Director at the Harry and Rose Samson Family Jewish Community Center, and today I'm excited to share with you my Moment of Torah. This parsha for this week is Vayeira, and wow, I don't know how I can give just a moment of Torah when you're talking about a parsha like Vayeira. It is one that is so full of stories that are familiar to us. It's read not only as part of the weekly cycle, but also read on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. The story begins with now Abraham and Sarah having accepted God as the one and only God. It is now where Abraham and Sarah are actually in the tent and welcoming God and the strangers in. We also then go on to what we read during Rosh Hashanah, where Abraham is asked for the ultimate sacrifice, to have his son be sacrificed at 13 years old. All of these are things I could talk about on and on, but truly what many people don't know is that Vayeira is actually a story about the first JCC. As the director of a Jewish community center, our values are about creating an open and welcoming environment for every Jew, no matter where they are on their journey, and about inspiring their Jewish journey. It's in this parsha that we see the development of Hachnasat Orchim, the belief that we are supposed to welcome the stranger into our midst. Abraham and Sarah are living in their tent when these strangers come upon them. Rather than seeing them as strangers that they're scared of or aren't welcome, what happens instead is really the development of what we do here at the JCC. Stopping what we do, preparing the best of foods, not only welcoming them in and making them feel important, but then upon the end thanking them for coming and helping them along their way. Not just saying to them, pointing to them where the door is, but actually going out of the tent and pointing them in the right direction. As a kid, this was a Jewish value through and through. I remember cleaning my house before anyone came over, and the mayhem that came along with it. Because when a visitor came to our home, we needed to be good hosts. Hachnasat Orchim is also about welcoming the stranger emotionally, not just with the typical Jewish food and clean home, but that wherever you are on your journey, whether it is just discovering Jewish life for the first time, or whether or not we're coming back to Jewish life later, the JCC represents that concept of Hachnasat Orchim. Rabbi Carneol from the Jewish Outreach Institute writes a great piece in which he says that Abraham and Sarah are the penultimate role models of Hachnasat Orchim. They're about the ultimate of welcoming strangers into the tent, and that's what really incorporated, in my opinion, the first JCC in history. Vayeira teaches to us the opportunity to be able to welcome the stranger, but it also tells us that we must do it, that it's our job, that we need to, when called by God or called by a cause, we can't simply choose to not answer. Abraham sets the model for us. It would have been easy to have ignored this voice, this concept of which he didn't really know. But he doesn't just say, I'm here. He responds with, here I am. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to welcome the stranger. I'm ready to make the sacrifice. I'm ready to put others before me. That is, to me, what Vayeira is about. It is a parsha that is filled with rich history, stories that we all know. But the real beauty of looking at the Torah is each year when we come back to it, we find something new, a new nugget of what's important to us. And for me this year, I hope that I'm able to share with you that not only here at the JCC are we filled with Hachnasat Orchim, but that you too should be doing that in your own homes in welcoming the stranger.
Hachnasat Orchim, come into our house, come into our house. Hachnasat Orchim, come into our house, come into our house. Welcome new friends, welcome old friends, welcome family, welcome all.